Hello, hi everyone. Happy Tuesday and International Women's Day. Woohoo! It is a good day. It is a great week. This is probably honestly one of my favorite weeks just because today is International Women's Day, celebrating females and women. Tomorrow is RDN Day, celebrating dietitians, and Thursday is my birthday. So it is the greatest week ever. So as you can see, I am super excited, super pumped because it is a fantastic week. So I hope you guys are all having a fantastic week as well. So welcome. So this is Tip Tuesdays with myself, Coach Kayla. Plant-based Tip Tuesdays, or I should say plant-based running Tip Tuesdays with myself, Coach Kayla. I'm an online plant-based dietitian, nutrition, and run coach. And today we're going to be talking about building a plant-based performance plate. So we're not going to be just talking about building a plate of what it looks like if you're plant-based, but what should that plate look like if you are an endurance athlete? So if you're interested in that and want to learn more about what your plate should look like, then I encourage you to stay on for me today. So if you are just joining or if you are new here, make sure to comment below, say hi, want to know you're on, tell us where you're from as well. And also above, you can allow StreamYard to just click that to allow your name to show up as well. Or as I said, comment below with your name and say, hey, where you're from. All right, so let's get started if everybody is good with that. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Let me get out of all this crazy stuff here. I may be sharing my screen as well, but we'll figure that out as we go. Okay, so let's get going. So, building a plant-based plate for performance. First, I want to give you guys some tips, and then I want to show you the plates that I use to teach people about what their plates should look like based on their training. So, tip number 1, you're going to want to eat every 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 hours. And I know for some of you that may seem like a lot, but in order to meet your needs, most likely to meet your energy needs, you may need to eat that much. So that is why planning and prepping food is so important. And if you're not able to prep that much or, just don't have the time to do that, that's when buying or purchasing already made plant-based meals are a perfect option. And I'll post below meals that I recommend. They are perfect just for plant-based athletes and work really well for, when you just need a meal to grab. So you do want to do that. It is also going to look like probably 5 to 6 meal snacks a day. And that can seem like a lot as well, but that's probably what it's going to look like. I do have a meal planning template. If anybody wants that meal planning template, you're welcome to reach out to me. I use a meal planning template for my clients, and how I have it listed is we have 5 to 6 small meals and snacks listed there. So, so that's probably how much you're going to have to eat. So if you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, that's what's going to look like. That also includes the pre and post run snack. So that doesn't mean like a huge meal every single time. That's also going to include pre and post. Pre and post snacks, are important for fueling and recovery, but it also helps you to meet those total energy needs. And I probably say this over and over how important it's just so important to meet those total energy needs. So if we can sneak in some food, then it is going to be beneficial for us. The next tip that I have is half your plate should ideally look like about, half your plate should be fruits and vegetables for the most part, and some protein and some fats. So let me show you guys the plates here. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Okay. So let's see if we can do this here. Okay, I know those on the podcast, when I put this on there, you guys probably aren't going to be able to see this, but if you're interested in seeing the live video, I encourage you to do so. You can just go right onto YouTube. You should be able to find this video. All right, so we're going to present. Hopefully you guys can see this. Can everyone see this? Okay, good. I think so. Okay, so this is the power plate. This is the plant-based plate. This is what your plate should look like. So as I said, half your plate is fruits and vegetables. Another quarter of the plate should be grains, legumes. This is a basic standard plant-based plate. But as I said, what should this plate look like for you as an endurance athlete? Because we know you're going to need more needs besides, adding in that pre and post run snack. We may be needing more calories, we may be needing more energy and fuel for our bodies to keep up with the training that we're doing. So I've created 3 different plates. So as I said, again, for this plate, about half that plate is fruits and vegetables. And for veggies, that's including our non-starchy vegetables, okay? And this would be for an easy level. So if our levels 1 and 2. So this is, rest day, recovery days. So let's see, what would this be? So the levels as well has a lot to do as well with heart rate. So if you are training by heart rate, these plates actually will work really, really well, and you'll be able to understand how to fit this into your training schedule. But basically level 1 is usually at rest, recovery, maybe just walking or something like that, not really a run. So this would be, the plate. This is how your 3 meals you'd want to kind of look like. So half your plate fruits and veggies, quarter of your plate plant-based protein, which are going to be, your soy, beans, legumes, a little quarter is also half fats and starches. So healthy fats, you're going to want to choose avocados, nuts, seeds, those sort of things more often. And then you have your starches, your potatoes, whole grains, right? Breads, pasta, those sort of things are your starches. And then we have your next plate. So this is the place I want most of you to use most often, because this is your moderate level 3 plate. So if you are training, say for a half marathon or marathon, most of your runs are going to be at a level 3. They're going to be at, that easy pace. So this is the plate you want to follow. So pay attention to this. So more or almost half the plate is actually veggies, and our fruits are on the side. So that's the biggest difference with actually this plate than the one we saw before. You actually have a lot more vegetables on here, and those are non-starchy vegetables. Quarter of your plate is still plant-based protein, so that doesn't change. There is a little bit more starches, as you can see. That triangle is a little bit bigger, so a little bit more starches. And then you also have fats, or some healthy fats. And then, if we go to our next plate, this is our race day plate. So this is levels 4 and 5. So this is for, days that you do speed work, or you have a race day, you're racing. So as you can see, the biggest difference here from the previous plate to this plate is more starches. So almost half that plate is filled with starches. So that can be your starchy vegetables, like your potatoes and peas. And then we are butternut squash, whole grains, breads, pasta, rice, all those things. And then a quarter of the plate is actually veggies on here. And then you have a quarter of your plate, again, plant-based protein. That doesn't change too much. Some fats as well, and then fruit on the side. So that is what your plates should look like based on your training. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And another thing too that I want to share that you can think about this as well is you can break it down to mains, sides, and condiments. So you always want to start with a main. So that could be, your starchy vegetables, your plant-based proteins. Your sides is going to be your vegetables and your fruits. And then your condiments are going to be your sauces, your nuts, seeds, those sort of things. So you can also think about it as that, as in, these are the 3 combinations that I want to have on my plate. I want to make sure I have all of these on there. And depending on, how much training you're doing that day is going to be dependent on how much you should be including. Yeah, so I think that's basically it. Yeah, so just to review, eat every 2 to 3 hours, and this is going to look like 5 to 6 small snacks a day, including this includes your pre and post run snacks. Make half your plate at least fruits and veggies, some protein, and a little bit of fats. You may also, most of your plates will actually be more of half your plate veggies and then half a little bit of fruit. And use those plates to help you with creating your plates based on your training. That can be really helpful. Or using the combinations and just making sure you have all those 3 combinations at each meal. So this is also part of our build phase. So part of the program that I've created, the Run on Plants method, in that method, we have the build phase. So this is part of the build phase, which is why I called this building a plant-based performance plate. So that is part of the build phase that we're going to do. So, once we get that foundation down and really get, okay, this is how my plates should mostly look, then we start using these 3 different plates and figuring out, okay, how can we up the calories, or how can we add in more combinations, or how many combinations do we need to add to support our training and making sure we're fueling properly. So with that all said, if you guys have any questions, as I said, post them below or reach out to me if you have any questions at all. And just an announcement real quick as well, I will be having another live How to Fuel as a Plant-Based workshop. This is my most popular workshop out there. I've done this a couple times live, but I don't do this very often. So if you guys are, if you're new here and you really want to learn how to fuel as a plant-based runner, I want to make sure you're properly doing it right. A lot of this information, you're like, wow, I didn't know this. This is really helpful that I just shared today. Then you're going to want to get in that workshop. I'm going to be spending 3 hours with you guys. We're going to spend 3 hours going through this, and I know it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so beneficial for you. You're going to walk away from it, and you're either going to be like, okay, I got this, or you're going to want more. So I encourage you to join us next week, March 14th through the 16th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time each night. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to post a link below here, below this video, for you guys to sign up, or you can go to the link. I believe it's plant-based coaching, workshop sign up, I believe is the link. Let me see. Yes, it is plantbasedperformancecoaching.com/workshop sign up. So you can also sign up there if you guys are interested in coming to the workshop. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you here next Tuesday. Bye. Keep running and eating plant.